Hi, Julia Watts here. Welcome to my YouTube channel. So in this video we're going to play with some fairy hug stamps, and we're going to be using some of the newer stamps and combining it with some of the old stamps and some stencils. So first of all, I've got a paper, and this is one of the new 6x6 papers, and this one is from the Thunderglow pack, and it's really good quality paper, 216 GSM, and it's double-sided. You can see, I mean, I've used quite a few of mine, and I don't currently have my stock yet. It's due very soon. But you can see all the designs that are on the front. So they're double-sided, so you know, there's two sheets of each. So obviously if you used one, you can use one of each pattern if you want to, or if there's a pattern you don't particularly like or one that you like the most of, you can just use the other side. But they're a mixture of kind of alcohol ink style backgrounds in here, and it's very, very usable, and they're all 6x6, as I said, so they're new. And there are two other paper packs that if I don't have them already, they will be very shortly on my website. So we're just starting with a piece from the pack. I've chosen the lighter side, and I'm just going to do work on here, and then I'm going to cut it down to size when I know the size I'm going to be dealing with. So we're going to start off by, let's add a little bit of a base, a little bit of grounding. And I've just got a piece of watercolour card here that I've just torn. You can see I've used it before, just to put some area here. In fact, I might want that side, so it's slightly higher up on that side. And instead of going for green, I'm going to go for Salvage Patina, because that'll mix in. And I am going Distress Ink rather than Oxide. This is one of the Studio Light blending brushes, and they're in two sizes. This is one of the 3cm sizes. There's also 4cm size, and they're all different colours as well. So it means that you can kind of use a brush per family and not worry about contaminating or cleaning them in between. So I quite like that. So we may well pick up some of the green from my piece of watercolour card, but I'm not worried about that. We just put in a bit of ground on my paper. So there's our ground all done. And then we're going to add some more kind of bubbly detail, and we're going to use some Kitsch Flamingo, again Distress Ink. And I've got a kind of pink one. This is one of the large ones. This is one of the 4cm. And the Studio Lights, they are in stock, and you get either a pack of 5 of the 4cm or 5 of the 30cm, so they're not mixed sizes within the pack. So let's just, I mean, I'm not going to use all of this, but we just position it so that my water stains, so they're like bubbles. So we're just going to ink through. I could have gone for Pick Raspberry, but I don't want it to dominate my background. I just want a little bit of a hint going on. And this is one of the fairy hug stencils, which I do have in stock. Oh, move that. Let's put it back in place. Let's see where that goes. That's on there. Doesn't have to be perfect. Obviously you can secure it with a bit of low tack tape. To be honest, when I'm doing this sort of inking, I don't usually bother. Again, it's Distress rather than the Oxide. So I use Distress in my backgrounds when I'm stamping on top, mainly because I find that the Oxide kind of reacts with whatever stamping I'm doing on top, and I don't really like necessarily what it does. This will just wash off under the tap. You don't need to worry about that, or you could mist it and take a print from the ink that's on the stencil first before you actually clean it off. So it's like a bit of a twofer that you get. Won't bother cleaning those. And now we're going to start our stamping. So I've taken, this is Bathing Thomas, which is from the Coffee and Tea collection, which is one of the newer designs. And the idea is that, I mean, with the acetate, we can do a right old plan. So the idea is that Bathing Thomas is going to sit there, And from the Under the Sea collection, I'm going to bring in this one here, which is our shower mushroom. So that's going to be kind of filling the bath with water, if you like. But I'm going to mask off that little area, and I'm going to have something else going on. So that's the kind of start of my scene. So let's go into a stamping platform. And this is the Press to Impress from Crafts 2. I do need to order some more of these, and I will do when I get round to it. So let's just pop this in here. So this is the bit where I've actually torn it out of the pad. So that's probably the bit that I'll trim off. Let's see, magnets all over the place. I like a lot of magnets, as anybody that follows me will know. And let's get Bathing Thomas out. I'm just going to stamp with the Nocturne VersaFine Clair because it's nice and strong colour, nice and black. And we're just going to have all the stamping in the same colour. Let's have him there, perched on the edge in a teacup, having a bath. Of course, why not? Why not? And where's my VersaFine Clair? There it is. So lots of tapping. Now you want a nice juicy ink pad. I have just re-inked this, so it should be okay. I keep on threatening to get a new one out. I do have all the colours of VersaFine Clair in stock on my website. I do only ship to the UK though. Tap, 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 tap. Do a bit of clean up, just because I like to. And we'll pop that down. Nice good press. And we'll see whether we want to do it another time. Now, the card, that you can see the card, the paper, pattern paper underneath has taken the ink. It does take a bit longer to dry because it's not an absorbent card that you're working on here. So just bear that in mind. Of course, you can actually add your embossing powder and heat set, but remember to anti-static first. Now, I do tend to wait for the card to release itself from the stamp, so let it fall naturally. Then you find, see, I've missed a bit there. Then you find that it's easier, it won't move so much, and it's easier for you to re-ink and stamp again. So it's not too bad. We're just going to, I want him a bit darker, so we're just going to give him another ink. Tap, 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 tap. And can you see there's like a tea bag hanging from the end of the teacup? Little details which are absolutely magic. And they are magical, absolutely magical collections. And I like to kind of sometimes pull some of the ones that we've had from previous releases and see how they work together. You forget there are so many stamps now in the Fairy Horse collection. There's well over 400 stamps, and you kind of forget which ones you've got, and it's nice to pull the old ones out because they do work perfectly. Let's have a look. There he is. Perfect. And see, there's no shadowing because I've let that stamp come off of the card without forcing it. Quick clean up so I don't get too mucky, and we'll put Thomas over there. So let's now grab our mushroom, our shower mushroom. I've not used this one for ages, so it is nice to get it out again. So we want to make sure it's on land, on the ground. Right, so now the idea is that I'm going to have the steam from the coffee and tea collection. I'm going to have that coming out of our shower head, and that's going to be the water, if you like. Normally it could be that way, so it could be coming out of the bath if you want it to be, but I want it to come out of the shower head. So I'm just going to angle the shower head back just a tad, like that, so that we've got plenty of room to put in our steam. This is the beauty of the stamping press. You can really kind of mess around with where you put your stamps. Let's move that up a little bit. Make sure that's in the corner. Yes, and then we're going to ink this up again with the Nocturne VersaFine Clair. Tap, 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 tap. I definitely will have to do this one twice because it's not been used for quite a long time. I mean, you don't have to worry. I never clean my stamps properly. You don't have to worry too much. These are high-grade photopolymer stamps. They are manufactured in the US, but they're very deeply etched, and they are super quality. I mean, I hope you know that I would never actually kind of actively promote something that I didn't think was good enough quality, and it absolutely is. So let's just grab, where's my poker tool? Oh, it's here somewhere. Okay, just grab a poker tool. I'm going to go into the stamping platform here because it's a little bit sticky because it's not been used for a while, and I'm just holding the card down so it can release it. That's pretty good actually, considering I haven't used that for such a long time, and that is very, very good. So I may actually just stick with it as it is because I don't want to lose all these little dots. Look at all these beautiful little dots that there are in here. I did forget. I meant to just mask off that area there, so I didn't actually stamp that. So we'll have to just see how we get on here and see whether the steam covers it all up. I hope it does, because I had intended to mask it off, but obviously I got carried away chatting and forgot what I was doing, which is par for the course with me. Let's just move that out of the way. Be careful when you take them off your stamping platform or your acrylic block, because I mean I've only ever torn one stamp in the past, which is a massive stamp. Just be careful. They are, like I say, they are thick. They're really good thick stamps, but obviously you just have to treat them with a bit of respect. So let's just pop our steam in there like so. And hopefully we'll get away with this. So in the ideal world, ink up your stamp and just put a post-it note or something just over that end bit, and then that will mask it for you. So ink it first, then put the post-it on. That's the way I would do it if I remembered. So now we'll add the steam. Remember, the steam is from the Coffee and Tea collection, which is the most recent release. How we get on. I mean, you could, if you wanted to, just kind of draw shoots of water coming out, but I thought it would be nice to use the stamp because I'm never very good at drawing things in. Let's hope this works. Otherwise this video will never see the light of day. It does. You can barely tell that I've messed that up now. Barely tell. I like that. That works. Obviously, you could mix your colours of your inks if you wanted to, but sometimes I just go all for black. So that's where we're at so far. We're looking good. There is a sentiment that I've picked out. This is from one of the releases previously. I can't remember which one, and it says it's the live forever sentiment. It says, dream as if you could live forever, live as if you only have today. Well, I think that's quite appropriate for a dragon having a bath in a teacup. Absolutely. Like so. Let's see if that's straight. I think it's straight-ish. We go for it. Sorry about this. It's sunny today. We've got a little light going across. Move that over slightly. And we'll again ink that up with the Nocturne. Hopefully this will show up enough. If it doesn't, then we'll just stamp it onto a piece of white card and cut it out and matte and layer it and put it on separately. But I'm hoping that it will be dark enough. I may well go a second time so it's even darker. Yeah, let's just go a second time. Okay. Let's look and see what where we're at so far. Out the way. So here's where we are so far. I'm going to pause just for a little while, and I'm going to chop this down a bit and do some colouring in, and then we'll see if we want to add anything else. Okay, so I've done a little bit of colouring in and trimmed my card down, so it's roughly 6 inches by 4 3/4 inches now. And I've just used Sentimental Yours watercolour blending brush pens to just add a little bit of colour to the teacup. I'm not going to add any to the mushroom shower at all, but I do think that I will add a little bit extra. I think I might add something down here and a little bit of foliage at the top. Can't find my grass. I don't know what's happened to my grass. We do have dandelion grass, but I'm thinking that's going to be a little bit too high up. We do also have whimsical flower cluster that we could use, so we could have some of that. Not feeling it for that either. So I think what we'll do is we will go to this set here, which is the Forest Flowers, which is from the Mini World collection. So I think we'll add just a little bit of detail down the bottom with that. Just grab a block. Let's go for this block here. One of my most used stamps in recent times is this one. And I think we go for a little bit of colour. So we've got pinks and purples going on in the background there. So I think what we'll do is bring in Monarch, if I can find it. There it is. So let's have a little bit of Monarch and just check how it's going to look. Yeah, I think that'll be nice. So just bringing in some grasses on the edge. Like so, and we'll have a little bit in the middle as well, just here. And just a little bit more just there like so. I think that'll do. Then I want some things to come in from above as well. So within the coffee and tea release, we've got a super useful set, which is your ginkgo branch. This, you've got one big branch and then you've got little tiny leaves as well. Love, 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 love this set. Well, this one in particular. I've used this a lot on my samples. So again, I think I'll stick with the yeah, let's stick with the Monarch as well over the top. I mean, you don't need to do this extra little bit with the foliage if you don't want to. It's perfectly acceptable without, but you know, when you've got the stamps, it's nice to use them. Let's bring in that from the side there like so. And let's bring in a little bit at the top. Just there. And then I shadowed it just a little bit there where I rocked the block. Tut, 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 tut. Let's have a little bit coming in from the side. so it doesn't look like so much of a gap. We do the same at the side as well. Like that. Okay, so that's Monarch. Let's move this away a minute. I'm just going to give that a quick blast just with the heat tool, because we're dealing with this paper that isn't super absorbent. You can actually just give yourself a bit of an insurance policy by giving it a blast so you don't smudge it. And turn it over so that the paper goes the other way. So, and then we just want a little bit of colour on the ginkgo leaves, I think. So let's go for my watercolour blending brush pens again, and I think I'll go for, let's have a look at this one. I want to keep in the kind of colour scheme that we've got. So let's go for a little bit of this one. This is from set number 3. So we're just going to colour in our leaves. I'll show you a couple and then we'll fast forward, as it were. Let's do that one as well. It's just nice to add a little bit of colour to them. So then if you take slightly darker colour, and this one is from set 1, we can just add a little bit of a highlight, so it gives a bit of depth to the leaves. And then what I'd do is probably bring in, I think, this one. Again, this is from set number 1, and then just colour in the berries as well. This is the same pink that I've used down there, and the darker blue is the same blue as I've used down there as well. So I'm just going to continue to colour in, and then I'll show you what it looks like when I've done. So we're all coloured in now, done all my ginkgo leaves and berries, and I've just edged with some Kitsch Flamingo Distress Oxide this time, just to finish it off, and I've matted onto a stitch torn rectangle from Sentimental Yours, cut out in Elegant Ebony card, again from Sentimental Yours, and I put it onto card blank. It's an A5, and I've just trimmed it down to 7 1/4 inches wide. Proper card and all that, it opens, which I don't do very often, but there we go. I think that's turned out quite nicely, mixing the different ones from the different releases. So just to recap what we've used. So we've used 421 Bathing Thomas, we've used 162 Shower Mushroom, we've used 416 Steam, 364 Live Forever, 398 Forest Flowers, 411 Ginkgo Branch. We've used the Water Stains stencil in the background, 6x6 stencil. The inks we've used the Salvage Patina and the Kitsch Flamingo Distress ink in the background, and then the 2 VersaFine Clairs, the Monarch and the Nocturne. Hope you've enjoyed that. Do check out my other videos on my channel, and if you're not already a subscriber, it'd be wonderful if you did subscribe and like, comment on a video if you get a chance. Don't forget that products are available from juliawattscrafts.co.uk for shipping to UK addresses. Thanks very much for watching. Bye.